Senator Rubio right now. Let's talk about one of the aspects of your strategy. You say the only way to defeat ISIS is with ground forces made up primarily of Sunni Arab forces.
Yes.
Those Arab nations, as you well know, they've conducted less than 5% of the airstrikes and actually none since August. What makes you think they are willing to fight on the ground if they're not even willing to fight from the air?
Well, they most certainly will have to be worked on to provide more than what they are doing now. There's no doubt about it. And there's one major reason why they have not been willing to be a broader part of the coalition, and that is they have lost complete trust and confidence in this president. This president cut a deal with their mortal enemy, the Shia, in Iran. And this is the reason why they no longer trust this president or are willing to work alongside them. But they have as much invested in this as we do, in fact, more so. For it is the king of Saudi Arabia they want to behead first. It's the king of Jordan that they want to dethrone. They want to go into Egypt, like the way they've already gone into Libya. And on another point we need to talk about, Assad is one of the main reasons why ISIS even exists to begin with. Assad is a puppet of Iran. And he has been so brutal towards the Sunni within Syria that he created the space that led for the people of Syria themselves to stand up and try to overthrow him. That led to the chaos, which allowed ISIS to come in and take advantage of that situation and grow more powerful. And the fact that this president led from behind meant there were no alternative groups on the ground to be empowered, leaving ISIS the prime operating space they needed to become the force they have now become.
Thank you, Senator. Stand by. Ms. Fiorina. The former Defense Secretary Bob Cates says the chances of getting Sunni Arab forces on the ground to get the job done, his words, chances very remote. What's your strategy?
Well, first, I'll just point out that talking tough is not the same as being strong. And to wage war, we need a commander-in-chief who has made tough calls in tough times and stood up to be held accountable over and over, not first-term senators who never made an executive decision in their life. One of the things I would immediately do, in addition to defeating them here at home, is bring back the warrior class: Petraeus, McChrystal, Mattis, Keene, Flynn. Every single one of these generals I know, every one was retired early because they told President Obama things that he didn't want to hear. We must have Sunni Arabs involved in this coalition. We must commit leadership, strength, support, and resolve. I'll just add that Margaret Thatcher once said, if you want something talked about, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman.
Thank you. Governor Christie, what's your strategy?
Well, you sit up here and you listen to this stuff and you think that so many of these people who have had so much to do in this national debate they talk like they were bystanders. We talk about our military being degraded over time, and yet we've had folks on the stage who've been a part of Congress who have participated in sequester, who participated in the degrading of this military over time. And that's why I think people get so frustrated with Washington, D.C. now. That's why they're so angry with the electorate, so angry with everybody who's involved in government in Washington, D.C. Because if you listen to the folks up here, you would think that they weren't even there, that they had nothing to do with this. This is the difference between being a governor and being in a legislature. See, because when something doesn't work in New Jersey, they look at me, say, why didn't it get done? Why didn't you do it? You have to be responsible and accountable. And so on ISIS, let's be clear. The president needs to be a force that is trusted in the world. And on this, I agree with Marco. This president's not trusted. If you're the king of Jordan, if you're in the royal family in Saudi Arabia, and he's made this deal with Iran, which gives them $150 billion to wage a war and try to extend their empire across the Middle East, why would you want to do it now? But I will tell you this, when I stand across from King Hussein of Jordan, I say to him, you have a friend again, sir, who will stand with you to fight this fight. He'll change his mind.
Carson, what's your strategy?
Well, first of all, I've been talking about this for over a year. We have to destroy their caliphate because that gives them the legitimacy to go ahead with the global jihad. We have to take their energy because ISIS is the richest terrorist organization there is. Take their oil, shut down all the mechanisms whereby they can disperse money because they go after disaffected individuals from all over the place, and they are able to pay them. That makes a difference. As far as the command centers are concerned, in Raqqa and to a lesser degree Mosul, cut those off. do the same kind of thing that we did with Sinjar a few weeks ago, working with our embedded special forces, with the Kurds, shut off the supply route, soften them up. Then we go in with special ops, followed by our Air Force to take them over. Those are things that work. But also, this whole concept of boots on the ground, we've got a phobia about boots on the ground. If our military experts say we need boots on the ground, we should put boots on the ground and recognize there will be boots on the ground, and they'll be over here, and they'll be their boots if we don't get